Hey guys, another podcast from the Golf Shed Gurus coming your way. I'm Todd Brackenridge. This is Rick McKenzie. Rico, what do we got this week, mate?
Mate, I believe we're going to go into part two of
Yeah.
our conversation with up-and-coming tour professional James Grierson.
Yeah, no, part two with Jimmy. We'll have a yarn about a couple of things. This gets a little bit darker, this one. There's definitely some light and shade with this with part two, but hope everyone enjoys it. James is a great bloke, and once again, we appreciate his time for the sit-down. Enjoy the interview. All right, mate. Let's change course a little bit here. We're going to go back to 2017, 2018. Two guys in those state teams are Blake Windred and Travis Smythe.
Yeah.
These two lads have since gone on to have some success in live golf.
Yeah.
When did you find out, obviously being you're close mates with these two?
Yeah.
When did you find out that they were going to get a gig?
I stayed with Windred at WA Open, which was our second last event.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And he was umming and ahhing whether he was going to play Darwin because of order of merit. He was coming second. He couldn't catch Jed. And at that point, he didn't know if... Well, I'll take it 2 days before that, I was in the airport with Jed. And he was like, I think I'm going to get 8 starts.
Yeah, right.
And he's like, my management have told me, he was like, it's 110 US for coming last.
Yeah, it is.
So he's like, I think that's going to be the case.
Plus the teams event.
Yeah, but at that point, that was very early, so that was all a rumor.
Yeah.
Then obviously staying with Blake. Blake's like, I don't really care about the live because I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to fall. And because obviously Jed's category doesn't start until next year for Europe, and Blake plays Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And then I said to Blake, he's like, I'll play. But at that point, who knew what was happening? And then obviously Smythe comes second in the Asian Tour event in London.
So he's not in before that, Travis?
No.
Yeah, right.
So Asian Tour had 4 spots, I think.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, so they're affiliated. Yeah.
Yeah. So he comes second. Pockets 220 US. Pretty good week. Obviously, he was leading for most of it though. And then, gets to tee it up. Was it the following week?
I think it was the following week. Yeah, and obviously under all the media.
Yeah.
What were your initial thoughts when you heard about Liv?
Okay, so it's great. More guys get paid.
Yeah.
That's how I think about it.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's more guys making more money. Like Trav wouldn't have made $1 million because that event in London wouldn't have happened.
Yep.
So from that perspective, but how do you get more money into golf without signing big names?
That's a good point.
Like you can't.
Yeah.
You can't say I'm going to pay someone $20 million and no one knows who they are.
Yeah.
So from that perspective, I think it's great. More guys get paid more money. It's got a bit of a stir. Obviously, the PGA do control things quite well.
Well, they did.
Yeah. And I heard a rumor they were going to do 8 events or something for the top 50 for 20 million.
105. Yeah, it's big, but yeah, they've sort of counter argue, but mine will be too late. I think it's interesting.
Yeah,
I mean,
that also it defeats the purpose though, because those 50 guys don't need cash.
No,
like they're just playing for majors. So I think it's quite cool. There's a lot going. So
did the boys share any stories about? They obviously got quite well looked after, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I haven't. I feel like they're both answering so many questions about that stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'd rather sit down with Trav over a beer and be like, righto, tell me everything. Tell me the stuff you wouldn't tell anybody else.
Make sure he buys the beer too, mate.
Exactly. I know he will be. And obviously he's trying to get more starts. So he's trying to like play that game as much as he can to try and
he got in
on the teams.
He got in Portland, yeah.
Yeah, I think he gets 3.
Yeah,
right. He wasn't sure if he was going to be able to do Corn Ferry Q School, which I think they're still waiting to find out.
Yeah.
I don't know how it all works, but
get a start in all 3, mate, and come home and spend some money. All right, mate. Quickly, we move to Bonnie Doon.
Yep.
Which is where you call home and have, I think, basically since you got to Sydney. Is that correct?
Yep.
Now, for those who haven't played Bonnie Doon, it is a private golf club, but it's quite relaxed, isn't it? It's not definitely doesn't have the stigma of a private golf course, in my opinion, anyway.
Yep.
We're obviously both good mates with the pro there, Blake Ballinger, who is somewhere in between mine and your age. Is he older than you?
Yeah, he's 3 years older than me.
Yeah. So, but no, he's a Bathurst boy. Mate, let's talk about your life at Bonnie Doon, because there's a couple of scary stories. I've heard them and I don't believe them, but I've got you in front of me now. So let's talk. How many times have you broken 60 at Bonnie Doon for 18 holes?
Twice.
Yeah, right. And one was 58. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah.
You had 58 on the par 72. Is it 72?
Par 71.
Par 71.
71.
So you had 13 under.
Yeah,
right. In a comp?
Yeah.
Unreal. Yeah, right. So that's obviously your lowest score.
Yeah.
Mate, I've also heard a story, and this is Blake, so he's put some GST on it. I've got no doubt. You drove the 9th at Bonnie Doon.
18th.
18th, is it? Oh, you remember it quite well, obviously.
Yeah. Because
it is the 18th. Sorry, no, it is the 18th. My bad. Yeah, it is the 18th. Yeah.
Because it used to be called the Brett Ogle Pro-Am. It was like for the scholarship. It was like for the junior program.
Yeah.
And it was the windiest game I've ever played in my life. And just so happened, I was playing with Blake's brother-in-law and their group. And I was standing on the tee. We always joked about it. I was like, one day we're going to be able to hit the green here, because it just, you know what Sydney's like. It's windy. And we're walking up the tee and I was playing shit. I looked at him. I was like, you reckon? He's like, maybe. And then, it rolled on the front left edge. And then I 3-putted for par.
So for those who don't know, this hole measures 400, right?
It's like 430 or something.
Yeah, 430 meters. You do tee off.
But that's what I'm saying. It's stupid windy and it's an elevated tee. But it was,
430 of the best. All right, mate. On I guess a different topic with Bonnie Doon, they host the TPS event, Tournament Players Series. Braith and Asta hosts it.
Yeah.
I'm interested, mate, because every time this tournament comes up, obviously I'm back here in Orange and I'm like, this is Grierson's week. This is it.
Yeah.
But I can only imagine, and we spoke about this earlier, this has got to be tough playing on your home deck, right?
The first time, which was obviously like 21, I was like so nervous.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Blake was like, you good? Blake's like, you good? I was like, no, I've made one cut this season.
Yeah.
And everybody expects me to play good. This year it was hard because it was so wet.
How good does that place drain, but right? Like to hold on for that long.
It's like not real. Like I don't know. There's like a big water tank underneath that just keeps emptying.
It's just a shame it couldn't finish it.
Yeah.
It would have been amazing.
I teed off at 6 o'clock that morning, so it didn't really faze me. I finished.
How about just piping 3 into the first and stuff like that?
Like I've never played. I didn't get to the first. I hit 5 irons to the second, and I didn't get to the third. And I've never done that before.
Yeah.
So like that week was weird because it was so wet. The greens are so soft. Like it was just, it wasn't like playing my home golf course.
No, yeah.
That part sucked. But at the same time, like it's pretty cool to play a tournament at your home course.
Oh, I can imagine. I'd imagine the members back you and stuff like that. The lead up would be tough, but I'd imagine so it tees off Thursday. I'd imagine Monday to Wednesday's tough. Like I'm sure there's a couple of things they want you to do, and
but at the same time, it's like it's kind of cool to have a tournament where you like don't need to know the golf course.
Yeah, true.
It's like this week's probably going to be more mentally draining than normal, so I just do my reps and I get out of there.
Yeah.
Which for like this is like part of the good thing about being golf pro. You're hitting Pro Vs on the range, right? So there's perfect grass, perfect range, targets everywhere, perfect chip and green. But you want to leave? It's like the most contradicting thing. It's like a 6-year-old's dream to be like, this is amazing. But like it's just doing the best you can to, like I just went out and played golf, like Blake caddy for me, just go play some holes and just go hit some shots and have some fun with it.
Yeah. Who's coaching James Grierson?
John Sohan has for the last 5 and a bit years. And I've started doing some stuff with Billy Watson as well. So,
Who's
who's it? Yeah.
who's Billy, mate? I know John. I don't know Billy.
Billy's a 24, 25-year-old at Longreach.
Okay.
Yeah, knows his stuff. We did some
Yeah.
putting stuff together, and we've done a few full swing stuff as well. And John will always be there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. It's obviously nice having him at Longreach too, near home, obviously.
Yeah, and also like, it's also nice sometimes having a different perspective. I've been with Johnny for a long time, so it's nice to hear something fresh.
Yeah. All right, mate. We're towards the end, but I've got some tough stuff for you. So I kind of wanted to go on a different path here where we know about James Grierson now, but I wanted to beat your brain a little bit. Lowest points as a golf pro. Now, I'm sure there's been some, obviously, the time in them, even as an amateur. We don't need to be specific, but has it ever?
No, that's okay.
How close have you ever been?
Absolutely. Oh, like nearly flew home from America the first time because I missed the first cut and I was 7 over through 11 holes. It was hosing down rain by myself. I'm like this is at the start as well. I nearly ran China hurt because every golf course was it's cut out of a forest with a fairway in the middle.
Yeah.
And so we play golf on golf courses where you can hit it anywhere, right? I felt like on every hole I was going to have a driving range clinic, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
I felt like I was going to lose golf balls. So I think missing a lot of cuts. There's one tournament at the start of last year where I sat in the car for 40 minutes because I was just I just don't want to talk to anyone.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I've got an amazing family that I've got inside.
Oh, absolutely.
They've cooked dinner for me and they're doing everything. And I'm just don't I guess that's the sort of thing with golf when you're by yourself. It's you just what am I supposed to do?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay.
You care so much.
You don't have to answer this question, but the last time you wanted to quit, how long ago?
As an irrational thought or a real thought? Real thought?
A real thought, yeah.
Probably had a couple in the last 12 months.
Yeah, okay. That's not too bad.
All of a sudden, right? I'm really motivated the next day, though.
Yeah, it's been a long year, so that's not too bad, I wouldn't have thought. Only a couple. All right, mate. Supportive family, supportive partner. Is there an end date? Is there I need to be successful by 2000 and X?
No. This is where I'm quite lucky. Blake as well.
I knew we were going to get a good answer here too, Gris, so don't let me down. I knew we were going to get a good one.
It's if you are not enjoying it and not experiencing things for the first time, and you're also not putting yourself in a good situation, then yes, I think it's a real thing.
Yeah.
But 12 months ago, I never led a golf tournament. I led twice this year.
Yeah.
So I'm still although I might be nearly 30, I'm still learning things. I'm still eager. I'm still keen to do it. A lot can
change. You talk about turning 30, a lot can change in 12 months, but can't it? And I feel
absolutely.
Trav and Blake can probably attest to that right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's also I haven't got a baby. I haven't got a mortgage. So there's nothing sort of pulling on that string.
Haven't got a baby? Haven't got a baby?
No.
Okay.
No, okay. I don't.
Mate, what an announcement. The podcast has just rocked. All right.
So I don't. I don't. Yeah, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't know why you would, because as soon as you start thinking that way, you're done.
I tell you what, mate. When you say a lot of people do, a lot of good players don't. You look at that pro-am scene. They've been playing since I was a trainee.
Yeah.
It's 10 years of just turning up to the Port Macquarie pro-am.
That would be a different story, though. If I was playing pro-ams full time.
Yeah.
That's not. Okay, look, it is pro golf, but it's also
No, I get what you're saying. It's not.
You're the you're the side piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me short term, give me long term goals. Maybe 2 of each.
have 2 tour cards by the end of the next 6 months.
Yep.
So play my way into having 2 full-time jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Long term,
Mm-hmm.
win more than 10 times worldwide.
Yeah, nice. I like that. What's a win, mate? Is a win the Port Macquarie Pro-Am? Is that considered a win?
4-day event.
4-dayer? Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I find teeing off in the afternoon in the second round a win at Port Macquarie, but hasn't happened just yet. But COVID, mate.
Yeah.
Obviously, it hurt PGA China or that tour.
Yeah.
Blessing or hurt?
Blessing.
Good.
Yeah.
Just because you got to play more in Australia?
No, because I got to work on mental parts of the game that I definitely lacked in.
I've heard this in a rival podcast, actually. I've heard you've gone mental.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
I haven't gone mental, but I've worked on it. No,
Yeah.
I guess it's more like I'd always just been like, need to work harder, don't stop. But it was like actually sitting back and addressing things for what they were. And like, obviously it's a bit more of a spotlight now, but like the mental health is quite important.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And when you play a game where it's legitimately you and your thoughts, if you don't control your thoughts, how are you going to compete? Like, how are you going to do anything?
It's not good to be in that car for 40 minutes in the driveway, mate. It's there's not a lot of positive stuff getting said there.
No.
Golf Australia and the PGA. So I don't know if you want. You don't have to comment on any of this. Do they do enough? Let me break. Yeah, good question. Let me break this up for you right now.
I think from the PGA's perspective, they've added in 6 more events.
Mm-hmm.
From when I started,
that's TPS,
yeah,
obviously.
So like TPS, they've obviously, so like when I started to where it is now, it's in a much better position.
Yeah.
There's elements that like I do have an opinion on, but at the same time, like I haven't been there long enough to know if I have the right opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think in any way everyone can do things better, but like I think with the Golf Australia, with like the rookies and stuff, I think if you're going to fast track players, I think it's a great way of doing it.
How close were you there, mate?
Nah, nowhere near it.
Nowhere near it.
I probably could have got some assistance, but as far as like the rookie contract, no.
So for those who
needed it, oh shit,
yeah, just the bank deposit would be nice. For those who don't know, what we're talking about there is Golf Australia. How many do they fund, Jimmy? So a dozen.
Let's say max of 14.
Yeah. They basically
4 years.
Yeah, they fund 14 players. It's quite a large sum. That 14 safely don't dip into their own pocket too often. So it helps if you can get there. Guys like Cameron Smith have been on it. Min G and Min Woo both have been on it. Cam Davis, yeah. So basically they target the 0.01% and they do a pretty good job, which it's also good to see because I see Cam Smith give back as well. He does something where he brings some players over, and that's obviously him realising that he's benefited. Mate, let's get to this Trav Smythe, Will Zalatoris round of 16 match. There's obviously a video that you and I have talked about the last couple of days, and it sparked me to ask you, in that tournament, I don't know how many have gone on to win PGA Tour events. Aussies not kicking on. Where's your take? Why don't they? I guess we could say.
Trav and I had a conversation about this because I think it might have been, he had a really good start to the season in 17 or 18, I can't remember. He like contended in all the Aussie events at the back end of the year. Came back and he's like, Will hasn't got any status. Like, I'm playing Asian Tour in Australia and Will's got no status. He's just doing Mondays. Like, he's like, we're so lucky to have something at home.
Yeah.
And now it's quite amazing. Like, until Trav played Live, like it was like the complete flip. I think their system is so good because it's like so much about competing.
Yeah.
Plus it's a bigger pool, right? And it's at home.
Yeah.
So like for us to go do that US trip, like that's like a 25 grand trip minimum, 2 months, 3 months for them, it's like just a flight, go home, a flight. So I think their system helps. It's all based about like now they've got what's the tour that they got the graduates from college? Or they've got like a ranking or something?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I don't know the tour name, but yeah, they do. Yeah.
I think it's like the top 20 graduates from the college get a guaranteed card on something.
Is it Mackenzie?
Essentially, I think so.
Yeah.
No, that's Canada. Yeah, but essentially like the system points them in that way. So like that and the boosters from the colleges. So I think from that perspective, it really does help.
Yeah, okay.
Aussie's not kicking on.
Yeah. Not that they haven't, but maybe just the...
No, I think I know what you're saying. I don't know. We're very good. Like, we're very aesthetically pleasing golfers. Our golf swings are usually good.
Yeah.
Our short games are really good. I guess our climate helps that, right?
Yeah.
We play quite similar golf courses all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe the way they're brought up, like they're shooting 15 under off the gold tees as 11-year-olds, where we're playing with our egos off the blues and shooting 90.
Yeah.
So maybe it's there's a few areas there.
If you could we'll go to 17 again. What are you changing? I know the easy answer is nothing. It's been an amazing ride, yada, yada, yada. But what would you change?
Mum always distilled in me like working really, really hard.
Mm.
And as like I was quite fortunate in running and all those sports that I was quite naturally good.
Mm.
So I didn't really understand it, but I would go back and just work so much harder.
It's a good answer.
It's just like in everything, right? Like do everything properly. Yeah. So that way you're getting everything you can. I hate saying mum's right, but I think she was this time.
She got you.
They usually do at some point.
Yeah, oh man, absolutely. All right, mate. That will do us. I can't thank you enough, mate, for coming on. I know it's a busy week. What is in the week? You got the Aussie tomorrow with Blake.
Yeah.
What's that? Tuesday?
Yeah. I'll just try and play as much as I can and just sort of do my reps, like do as much pitching as I can. I'll play as many games like on the range where essentially creating smaller targets, like 15-meter wide with driver and trying to hit as many as I can through it.
Yeah.
It's not great for your ego, but it's all about just like trying to find a way.
There's some advice. I like that, Jimmy. There's some advice.
I usually get really angry because like I don't compete how I want to, but it's all about getting as fine-tuned for next week as possible. So that way when I get there next week, it's all about do my toothbrush drills, do the drills I do every day, go play and have some fun.
Absolutely.
Mate, cannot thank you enough, buddy. We'll be watching. We'll be on the PGA Tour Australasia app, keeping an eye on you, as we are. Mate, we're probably your biggest fans. We follow you. I can pretty much tell you every start you've had in the last 12 months. But, mate, we'll catch up. We'll probably catch up at Port Macquarie by the sounds of it, if not before.
Done.
Can't thank you enough, mate.
Done.
Travel safe. Go get it done next week, eh?
Thanks, Toddy.
Well, Toddy, how good was that? That's the end of our first sit-down interview. James Grierson, what a guy. What struck you most about the interview there?
Oh, mate, his maturity. He's always been a fairly mature kid. I knew him when he was 12, 13, roughly at Forbes. He's always been pretty mature, great family background. But no, definitely his maturity, mate. He talks like professional golf as a business. It really is. And I think for him, who's, he's quite lower graded compared to the big boys on TV at the moment, just the fact he's the maturity he shows on and off the golf course. And one thing I'll say about James Grierson, it doesn't matter who you run into, they'll say the same thing about him. He's one of the best blokes you'll ever meet, and he is. He's a great kid, and a big thanks to Jimmy for his time, and all the best at Tour School and for the year ahead. Yep. But mate, next week, big episode next week. Big episode. We're going to talk the Open Championship, which we can't call it the British Open. It's called the Open Championship.
It's one of the favourites.
It's looking more and more like I've had another disastrous call, and Tiger Woods is going to play.
Yes, anyone who follows us really needs to follow my tips.
Amazing that he's going to play. Still can't believe it.
South Wales, and I did say I believe Tiger will play.
Plenty of hard work getting done from Rico in the last few weeks at the Pro Shop, but and also we'll preview US Open trip. It'll be our last
good.
podcast before we get on the plane. So
On the way.
we'll talk to. Did I say US Open
Yeah,
then?
you did.
Sorry, it's not the US Open trip. It's actually our trip to the US. Well, you know.
We've been to the US.
Yeah, so. But anyway, my bad. It's a US trip.
Run away. We've got a golf trip. We've got 9 games of golf, 7 games in 7 days at one
Yeah,
stage.
yeah.
It's going to be hot.
We'll catch up with our old mate Siege.
Christopher John Meakin will be there.
Yeah.
Look, plenty of fun and frivolity to be had, and
Yeah.
a lot of golf, a lot of bad golf, I'd imagine. But
So the Open Championship into our US trip, not our US
I
Open
know
trip.
what I'm more
So
excited about.
yeah, absolutely. But hang tight, and we'll talk to you all next week. Take care.
Turtles.